Now, the other branch of right coronary artery is called the posterior interventricular branch of the right coronary artery. And this is what's going to go in the sulcus on the backside between the ventricles. So this right coronary artery is still going to continue on. There's our marginal branch coming off again. And then it's still right coronary artery as it continues around to the backside. And again, here is still the posterior view here. We have the right coronary artery that's coming around. And then in that posterior interventricular sulcus, we have our posterior interventricular branch of the right coronary artery. That's it right there. Now for left coronary artery, we also have two more branches. Our first one is called the anterior interventricular branch, and it's just going to go in the sulcus with the same name. Now, another name for this anterior interventricular branch you'll see is the left anterior descending artery. And that is the first branch. So here's our left coronary artery. And then our first branch coming down on the front side of the heart between the two ventricles is the anterior interventricular branch of the left coronary artery, or the left anterior descending artery. The continuation as it wraps around the heart is called the circumflex branch of the left coronary artery. And so left coronary artery, again, will split into the anterior interventricular branch and then also the circumflex branch. And the circumflex branch is going to wrap around to the posterior side as well. And now for veins. So that was the arteries. That was how blood got to the actual tissue of the heart. Now we need the veins to take it back to the right atrium. The first thing we have are the anterior cardiac veins. And that's going to be this vein right here. And sometimes there's a second one as well. But they're going to come together and they're going to run through that coronary sulcus with this right coronary artery here. They're going to go all the way down. They're going to meet up with our next one called the small cardiac vein. So small cardiac vein is on the margin of the heart with that marginal branch of the right coronary artery. This is called small cardiac vein. Now we also have the great cardiac vein. So this is the bigger one. This is found in the anterior interventricular sulcus with the left anterior descending artery. So there's this big artery right here on the front side, great cardiac vein. And it's going to go all the way around. It's going to wrap around to the posterior side too. So this is still great cardiac vein as it comes around here. And then small cardiac vein also continues to wrap around. We also have middle cardiac vein, which is found in the posterior interventricular sulcus with the artery as well. That's on the posterior side. So right here is our middle cardiac vein. And it's going to go all the way up here. And then our final one is called the coronary sinus. So this is a large vein. So we saw the opening in the right atrium. It's on the backside. This really big vein right there is the coronary sinus. And so small cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, and then also great cardiac vein, all three of those are going to drain into the coronary sinus here. They're all going to go in there first, and then the coronary sinus will drop all that blood off through that opening, the coronary sinus orifice, back into the right atrium where the blood can continue its cycle. And so here we've got all of it put together. We have left coronary artery, left anterior descending artery, circumflex branch of the left coronary artery, and then great cardiac vein as it continues around there. On the other side, we have the right coronary artery, marginal branch, and right coronary artery continues around there. We have anterior cardiac veins. There's two of them here. Sometimes there's just one of them. But they're going to come up here, and then they're going to come down and meet up with small cardiac vein. Here's great cardiac vein coming around. Here is middle cardiac vein going in there and meeting up with coronary sinus. We see small cardiac vein also meeting into the coronary sinus. And then we see the posterior interventricular branch coming off right coronary artery right there.